Hey guys, welcome back to Wait, It's a Podcast with your host, me, Kayla Spalding. Hello, how are you? I hope you're well. I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for asking. This is, if you can't tell, a slumber party episode because, I'm wearing pajamas and I'm filming this at night. So, pretty straightforward. I think I would just like to start off by saying congratulations are in order to Mr. Mamdani, New York City's new mayor. Hey! Hey! I am so happy. He was my vote. I must tell you, he was my vote, and I'm stoked. I'm so stoked. His entire campaign, I think, was wonderful. It was also so beautiful to see how enthusiastic I'm always enthusiastic about politics. I'm just that gal, and I'm always enthusiastic about new folks, especially who are younger, coming into the fold and really ushering in this new voting base, this new generation of voters, i.e., Gen Z, even galvanizing millennials, even more so, and then younger. Um, so it's always really exciting, but there was just something really special going on in the city, and even knowing people that were canvassing for him and just how excited everyone was. I'm so happy. And also, he's cute, which I feel like is so important. Um, to bring back hotness, to bring back cute politicians back into our political sphere. I just think for a long time, aka since Trump, we've just kind of settled with like old white guys. Like we just kind of settled into like, okay, that's just like what it is. And we'll talk about how annoying that is, that it's just old white guys, but that's just what it is. But I'm so glad we're being reminded, no, we can have hot men of color running parts of the city, parts of the state, parts of this country. Shout out President Obama, who was my awakening as a 7-year-old back in '08. We can have that. We could have had a really, really hot woman of color as our president. But of course, that would have been too far for many of you, right? A hot black woman running this country, that's too much. Or else I would have been in office a long time ago. They would have forced me in office a long time ago if all you needed was a hot black girl running this country. Anywho, I'm so excited. Congratulations to Zohran. You're going to do great things. I'm excited about what you have in store for this city because I know you're listening. Because I know Zohran's listening. So since you are, hi. But yeah, exciting. It's been an exciting day. I knew he was going to win because I'm a prophet in that way. But it's nice to be right. You know what I mean? Everyone else was nervous. They were like, I don't want a repeat of last November. I want this all to work out. I am an optimist at my core. I think you guys are going to learn this about me quickly. I'm like, no, he's going to win. He's going to win because he's the best candidate. And so he's just going to win. And I was right because I'm never wrong. I'm very rarely wrong. I was wrong last November, and that really hurt me because I'm so rarely wrong. But proven right again. So we're on the up. Anywho, pulse check. Okay. My microphone. Oh my god. This is what happens when it's slumber party. I'm not on my A game. Pulse check. I'm good. Yeah. I feel like I say that every episode. I go, I'm good. Yeah. I'm good. Yeah. And then I go into a soliloquy about how like my life's awful and I'm struggling. So how about I just answer authentically? I'm doing fine. I think I'm so exhausted. I've been breaking out so much lately and I don't know what it is because honestly I've been eating better or making more of an effort to eat better. Oh, pause. Okay, so for folks that watch, I am wearing this pajama shirt, right? And it is so low cut. If you get a little titty, my apologies. Or maybe I should say you're welcome. I don't know which one. Depends on who you are. Anyway, I'm going to try to cover as much as I can. But hey, PJs, am I right? Free the nip, actually. Actually, I retract that. Free the nip. but not my nip because this is the internet and the internet's forever. Anyway, back to what I was saying. My face has been breaking out so much, and I don't know what's happening. And I've washed all my sheets a million times. I've done, well, not a million facial cleansers, but I've tried a bunch of different things as much as I can because I do have very sensitive skin and I have oily skin. And like I was an Accutane baddie. Like I really struggled with acne growing up. So I tried as much as I could without going too crazy because usually for me, the less the better with my skin. Too many crazy different things on it irritate it. So I've tried as much as I can, and it's still not going away. And I've been eating better because, well, I'll give you my marathon update. I've been eating better because I'm trying to be healthier because I want to run more along with my dancing. So a lot more exercise. So I wanted to eat better, be more intentional about my eating. So I don't know why my face is breaking out. It shouldn't. So yeah, I'm struggling with that, and so it's making me a little self-conscious because the last time I struggled in this way was, well, before Trump was even president. You know what I'm saying? That's how I kind of been marking my life for the last 10 years before Trump, BT, and fingers crossed for an after Trump, AT. For the I abbreviated both if you needed that. Anywho, otherwise I'm doing pretty okay. I think I've had a couple moments though. And I wrote this down to talk about, but I don't know if I want to spend so much time on it because I am excited because we have our new mayor and there's just so many exciting things that I want to talk about that I don't want to harp on this too long. But I had this moment this week where I was disappointed in a friend a little bit, and it's kind of made me think on my relationships, friendships, romantic relationships, familial relationships, and disappointment. And everyone's disappointed in relationships. I've disappointed people I've loved in relationships, whether I know it or not, and they've given me the grace of forgiveness, whether I knew about it or not. But I've been thinking about that and the ways I've been disappointed, and then how to carry that and how it exists, like feeling that disappointment, but not letting it ruin those relationships, or allowing that disappointment to let me know a little bit more about what that relationship is and maybe how it should change because maybe there's ways my needs aren't being met because I'm thinking of the relationship in a way that the relationship doesn't actually exist as, if that makes sense. I'm thinking I have certain expectations because this relationship is in this category for me of a good friend, a best friend. But that's not necessarily how I'm filed in their life, and that hurts if that's the case, but that's also life. So kind of evaluating those things, not necessarily in a bad way or any kind of contentious way. There's no like beef or anger or anything, but just thinking about disappointment, and you hate to feel disappointed by the people you love, and how to articulate that without you yourself getting defensive or making that other person feel like they need to be defensive. It's a difficult thing to navigate. So yeah, I've just been thinking about that. And relationships are hard, just across the board, whatever kind of relationship it is. Relationships are so difficult and they're so vulnerable. And sometimes I feel like and I mean all relationships, even relationships with yourself. I just feel like I'm constantly being ripped open the older I get. Again, frontal lobe, maybe it's my frontal lobe closing, but just like ripped open and exposed for all the things that I am, all the things I am not, and finding comfort in my imperfections, which leads me to my other thing. I've been talking about perfectionism, and maybe this will just be a podcast about perfectionism because I talk about it every episode, but I had another moment yesterday where I wasn't getting something right in my acting class, which is just, it's a place of growth. I just started acting. It's so deeply unserious. Not, the class isn't unserious, but like the pressure I'm putting on myself is deeply unserious. Because it prevents me from learning and taking things in. And I was so stuck on how I wasn't doing something right. I was like preparing for a scene, and it's like a more of an emotionally heavy scene. And all it is I haven't found my my prep yet. The way that I prep to go into a scene with someone, I just haven't found the way that I work yet, which is okay because I started acting like 8 months ago. But I yeah, because what I will say is growth has happened because now I'm aware when I'm not as fully into a scene as I could be. Whereas before I started this class, or when I first started this class, I'd be in a scene and I'd be thinking I'm doing fine, and my teacher would say, I feel like you're not in it, or you're not really receiving what that other person is telling you. And I had no understanding or clue what he was talking about. And now I can feel it before he even says it when I feel like I'm not as in something as I could be. And that's just a result of my prep not being as solid as it could be. But anyway, I beat myself up though whenever I get a critique on anything, feedback on anything, which is so silly because I get feedback on something, I take the feedback, and it's always better and it's always helpful and it leads to clarity and growth. So I don't know why I get so stuck, but I do. And it really is so debilitating and leads to so much negative self-talk, and I don't know how to get out of it. So if you have advice, leave it in the comments down below. I'll also ask hashtag a therapist about that. Perhaps we just get professional help because it's this obsession with perfectionism, and I need to let it go. I need to let it go. Otherwise, though, life is good. I've been so emotional lately, and maybe that's why I'm feeling all of these things around perfectionism, and getting feedback, and my disappointment in friendships. I think it all circles around me being highly emotional right now. And the marathon, the marathon was happening this week. I talked about it in my last episode. The New York City Marathon. I was so inspired. I decided I'm going to run the New York City Marathon in 2027. Don't at me. It's happening. Don't play with me. Everyone that I've told, because I've told everyone's like, yeah, Kayla, and they don't believe me. I'm going to do it. One thing about me, if I decide I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. That's a threat. I'm going to run. That's a threat. I'm going to run the New York City Marathon 2027. Um, and I've just been so inspired though, because I know people in my personal life who ran it, and I'm so proud of them. And then I also have been all over TikTok watching the vlogs, watching people complete it, sobbing, people seeing their families and friends after finishing the race, sobbing, people meeting their time goals after finishing the race, sobbing. All of it has me on the floor, not even joking, tears rolling down my face. And so I've already been emotional about that all day. Then I get on TikTok and I see an edit of Ho Hey by the Lumineers, and I go down a rabbit hole, a 2012 rabbit hole, right? And okay, let me be first. It started off with the marathon. I then saw a marathon edit of people singing, I think, Dog Days by Florence and the Machine. And they were blasting it and singing it all around this bar after the New York City Marathon on Sunday. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. People all together, unity, it's awesome. And then I go down the rabbit hole with the Lumineers. Yeah, don't think about it too hard. And I am sobbing, thinking about 2012 Kayla, circa 11-year-old Kayla, circa One Direction, mindless behavior obsessed Kayla, circa pre dislocating her right shoulder Kayla, because I changed after that. Anyway, it was just such anyway, my point is, it was such an innocent time. It was an innocent time for me. And I was watching edits to Ho Hey, and I was sobbing uncontrollably. And I'm not being funny, like heaving sobs. And I was just so emotional, thinking about hashtag ObamaCore, thinking about 2012, thinking about my youth, thinking about how the people yearn for collective effervescence You know what I'm saying? Like, we yearn to be in unity together. People talk about it all the time, how we're all so separated, how there's no unity anymore. Everyone's on the other end of the aisle. No one can find togetherness. We always talk about that. But then we'll talk about how something's cringe and like weird, or we'll hyperanalyze something to death, or we'll make someone feel self-conscious about something that or doing something or saying something that's just being themselves, like it's nothing offensive, it's nothing anything other than just existing as themselves in a way that's different from you, and you find that weird and you penalizing them for it. We exist in such a space where we crave togetherness, we crave that collective community, yet we beat people up who don't exist in a particular way in this very rigid small box of existence, even a box that sometimes we don't even fit in, but we project onto people. And that song made me feel all of those things. Ho hey. Ho hey made me feel that. That's insane, but it did. I was like, that was the height of millennials and their power, I will say, and I have to give millennials their flowers. I will forever be a millennial stan. I have to give them their flowers there. That powerful. And then I went to another millennial classic, okay? Because after that I was like, I need to like tighten up because I'm crying over like folk music right now in my room at 11 p.m. This was 45 minutes ago, okay? And I need to tighten up immediately. So naturally I play Moment for Life, okay? And let me tell you again, another millennial classic, because I'm watching that and I'm like, it's gonna pump me up. I'm gonna lock in, okay, and like calm down, heaving sobs again. I'd argue harder because that was my childhood. You know what I'm saying? Drake and Nicki were my childhood. And so now I'm crying even more because I remember watching that music video for the first time, typing it into Google because I heard that song at summer camp and I was like, this eats down. What is this? Finding it and spelling Nicki Minaj Nickii because I was like 10 and couldn't spell. You know what I'm saying? Like it's deeper. It was deeper than that for me. And so I'm crying even harder because I'm so emotional and it's so attached to so much innocence of that time for me, but also where we were as a society. And I've just been so emotional. So that started with the marathon and it ended with Nicki and Drake. And all that to say, I have just been witnessing some of the most beautiful parts of humanity this weekend, even while also simultaneously dealing with some of the more hurtful parts of humanity, like in my relationships. And I think that's okay because I think that's just the human experience and its duality. And I guess that's what people say when they're like, that's what feeling alive is, right? Going through all of that, or going through the joy one day and, the pinch of pain another day. That's just part of it. But yeah, life is beautiful. I feel like I've been otherwise, though, in a good place mentally. But these past 4 days, it's been up and down like crazy. It's been nuts. But anyway, otherwise, I'm grand. And this week is my show. This weekend is my show. And it's been causing me the most anxiety ever because I haven't spent as much time on it as I would have liked. Again, I'm a perfectionist, but I have the most wonderful dancers doing my piece, and I'm so thankful for them. And I have the people that can come and can make the time to come coming to see my piece, and I'm so thankful. And I'm gonna like let it go, and I'm gonna pray that it goes well, and then I'm gonna control things within my control, give the notes I need to give, clarify things I need to clarify, and then I'm going to let it go. And then I'm going to pridefully promote this performance because I also have a habit of, if I don't feel like I've perfected something, not wanting to promote my artistry, which is literally the only way I can step above where I am now in my art. And yeah, I want to step into imperfection more like loudly this year. Even with this, like there's been a couple times throughout filming this where I'm like, I want to start over. I didn't say something exactly right, or it sounds slightly unclear, but I'm just going, this is it. I'm going to film this Second time's a try. First time's a try. What's the phrase? Hold. Pause. Third time's a charm. Second time's the charm, because this is my second time trying to film this. So I didn't go quite with the first try, but I'm working on it. Better than me filming it 4 times last time I filmed an episode. I'm working on the imperfectionism. Perfectionism? I don't know. I also learned how to say the word maybe by the time we get to the next episode. But I want to, yeah, learn to let things go, learn to embrace being imperfect, because no human being is perfect. I'd argue I'm probably the closest of anyone. I'm kidding. But really sit in being imperfect, because that's where life is, and that's where growth is, and that's where, you know, do you know? Because I don't know if I know. I don't know where that was going. Anyway, be imperfect because it's Gucci and cute. Otherwise, I would like to end this podcast by reading to you guys my day list on Spotify, because they're always chaotic and I haven't looked at it for today. And I'm just kind of intrigued to see what it is. Shall we? We shall. Okay, see, I knew it was going to be stupid. It's always so weird. Okay, today's day list is soprano vocal warm up Tuesday late night. Okay, so I don't sing. What songs? Obviously, it's Hamilton. It's just Hamilton. It's musical theater down. It's Waitress. It's Chicago. It's Hamilton. It's Dear Evan Hansen. This is so chaotic. It's wicked. Please, okay, this is what Spotify does though. That makes me sound like such a theater kid. What Spotify does is it hears me play the first track, Alexander Hamilton of Hamilton, one time, because I'm like, what's the song again from Hamilton? Oh, Alexander Hamilton. And it hears me play it one time. And then it's like, oh, okay, so tomorrow her playlist of the day is gonna be soprano vocal warm up Tuesday late night. Huh? Well, I played that song one time. Now I look like you should throw me on a Broadway stage tomorrow. It's so silly and goofy, but live, laugh, love that. On that note, though, go check out this podcast that you're listening to, which means you probably already found it. Go check out this podcast wherever you stream your podcasts. And by that, I mean the specific places I'm about to tell you, because it's actually not everywhere. Check it out on Substack here. Check it out on YouTube, and check it out on Spotify. And those are the 3 places. And we'll figure out where else when this thing really pops off. But let's celebrate how we're on episode, I counted. This is episode 7. Oh my God. Sorry, something just went in my eye. Okay. This is episode 7. I'm so proud. This is like the longest I've really kept up with something. And this is good for me. I'm forcing myself to I'm having fun, but I'm forcing myself to get up here and talk about myself for 20 minutes. No, I'm making myself do this because it's good for me to have this hobby and like get into something and stick with it. And I look forward to doing it. And it's always so fun. So thanks for listening. It's not a lot of you, but I love and appreciate you all. And yeah, this is so fun. And I'll see you in the next one, I guess. We'll yak it up in the next one. On that note, let's discuss the elephant in the room today. Dare I say this might be one of my favorites. We have my disposable camera that I'm using as a microphone because naturally it only makes sense. Alrighty. Thank you all. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.